In the world of Hollywood, movies get greenlit and redlit. They get remade and rebooted. But we are the Ideal. I'm Sam Gasch, and you are listening to Ideal Remake. Thank you for listening to Ideal Remake. We take movies that either have been, will be, or should be remade and talk about what the ideal version of that remake would be. Today we're going to be like Ren and Stimpy, way existential. And here today to give us some direction are Isabella Egizi. Fuck, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to get this right.
You did.
Damn it!
It's okay, just keep going.
Alright. Who's totally buggin', and Paul Presley, who's totally a Baldwin. Bella, Paul, is Clueless a movie that has been, will be, or should be remade?
It's never been remade. They've floated the idea a couple times, and I feel like Paramount really wants money, and this is one of the few properties that they have that hasn't had, like, a true sequel. I feel like it's going to be remade in the next, 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it sort of remade? I feel like it had... Was it a sequel or a follow-up with the TV show?
No. The movie came first.
No, I know. And then the TV show
sequel,
a remake.
Was like a serialized version of the show. I've never seen the TV show. I don't know anything about it, really. Except that Alicia Silverstone is not in it.
No.
Also, it's Alicia and not Alicia. She will fucking murder you if you call her Alicia.
That's alright. She baby birds her kids. I don't really trust her opinion.
She what?
She baby birds her kids.
Does that mean she throws up in their mouths to feed them?
Ew.
So this was a thing a few years ago. Alicia Silverstone would pre-chew food and then spit it into her kid's mouth.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Wait, pre-chewing is different from swallowing and regurgitating. Pre-chewing is a normal mother thing to do. Everyone pre-chews their food and puts it in their baby's mouth.
What?
She would mouth-to-mouth it into her baby's mouth.
Okay, that's weird.
And also,
But
no, they don't.
It's normal.
Yeah,
It's normal to take a piece of food, bite into it, and, make it softer and then give it to your baby.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a normal mothering technique.
Yeah, that tracks. I feel like my mother never did that to me.
My mother also
Which is
never
why I'm
did
so
that to
disgusted
me.
by that. But I support it, and I think that if you have a child, you should absolutely do that too.
With them. She was straight up, bite, chew, spit into child's mouth.
Okay.
Bite, chew, spit into child's mouth.
See,
She was baby burden.
Gerber already does that for you, though.
That's the thing.
And what are you eating that... I disagree.
Foie gras.
I would rather not... Ew. What? Ew. I hate that. I had that for the first time somewhat recently, and it is disgusting. And it's also, bad for the duck. You have to force feed the duck in order... Anyways, I'm sure that Cher from Clueless loves foie gras. But yeah,
But the TV show is actually, I think, what I saw first, because it was on all the time when I was growing up. So I remember Donald Faison from, I think, the TV show, unless the movie was playing on TV so much that I just saw it there.
The movie played on TV so much when we were kids. I was shocked that I didn't see this movie until adulthood, actually. I think I saw it when I was 20 for the first time, and I was surprised that I had never watched it because it was on TV all the time.
When did you see When did you see Clueless for the first time, Bella?
Oh, I think when did it come out? I forget.
That's
1995.
1995. So
It's the 25th anniversary.
I think.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 1995. You're right.
Yeah.
I think I saw it probably when I was in the late elementary school or early middle school. It was around that time for girls when all the parents get together and they're like, okay, how are we going to teach our girls how to not be total biatches?
Yeah.
You can swear on
Clueless
this.
Clueless
So
is
they
a great
gave us
way.
Clueless.
This is
literally,
imitatable.
Gathered a horde of girls together in our school and had us watch not the school but the parents. Mean Girls, Clueless, and I think Emma or something, which I don't really know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Clueless is based on Emma.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Well, yeah, it's probably why, and it's also an approach. It's more approachable than Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
Than as far as Jane
for
Austen
girls
works.
that age.
Yeah,
especially.
totally. But I think that Clueless should be remade for a new generation. If we're gonna do it, we need to do it right, and we need to be really respectful of the original. Amy Heckerling needs to be involved because she also directed Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and it's very, very rare that a woman gets to direct two seminal teen classics for different decades.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. Like, her work as of recent has not been very impressive, but she's a very, very impressive woman. And I think that Clueless is such a perfect film, in my opinion.
It looks like she has project in development for Amy Heckerling is Clueless.
Yeah.
But it says writer based on the original screenplay by, which leads me to believe she's not as involved in the remake.
Probably not.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, because she really did make this her own, and like the original concept behind this was just like bitchy high school girls in Beverly Hills, and we're gonna make a movie about that. And then she was the one that came in with the attitude that we're gonna make this based on classical literature, so that it represents themes that can be like repeated through generations, etc. Which is why the movie has such a staying power in our culture, because there are so many movies around the same time that were very, very similar that do not. And also, her dialogue is some of the best and most unique and genuinely funny things that have ever been released in a mainstream film.
Yeah. I agree with that. This is the first time I ever sat down and watched this movie all the way through, as far as I can remember. I may have seen it a long time ago, but like, if I had, it's been a while, and I feel like it's one of those things where I either watched it on TV or I didn't.
Yeah.
But a lot of this movie still works. I mean, there are some things that are just, like, weird, like not having a cell phone and having to go use payphones.
Yeah.
And there were just definitely some things that stood out, but overall, like, the basic core concepts are all still very real, and the movie, at the end of the day, is still pretty current.
Yeah, totally. It doesn't feel like it came out 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Except when, like you said, Sam, they say, or maybe it was you, I don't know, but it's not true that it takes 20 minutes to get anywhere in LA anymore.
I have a feeling that was a joke at the time. There's no universe where there's just no universe where that is true. If somebody wants to walk up to me that was here 25 years ago and be like, no, that was true. But like, LA is not laid out that way. You cannot get to Burbank.
The population could not have exploded that much.
No, and also there was no public transportation then. It was probably about the same as what we have now.
That said, I basically lived two places in Los Angeles. I now live in the Valley, but when I first was living in LA, I was living in Beverly Hills. And living in Beverly Hills, you kind of get spoiled because it's central LA, and that's where everyone is going, as opposed to where everyone is coming from. So from Beverly Hills,
a lot of things do take 20 minutes.
It takes a lot less to get to a lot of places because I'm, for the most part, going against traffic all the time.
Yeah.
And now living in the Valley, I've decided that the 405 is where hell comes to die.
Yeah, it is. That whenever it was burning on both sides of it and people were still driving on it, it was like,
bad places to be.
Well,
I was one of those people one of those days because I was like, I gotta go. I have to earn money today.
You gotta go to work.
I did see flames.
Yeah, I can't imagine that you didn't. But yeah,
because there were sometimes it was on one side of the hill or the other side of the hill, but there were a couple days.
That scene in Good Omens where they just surround London with a flaming freeway.
Yeah.
I think that one of the biggest things that I want to get out of the way is talking about setting for this. Because I think, this movie...
Because you two have very distinct and strong opinions about where this movie should be set.
I changed my mind.
The first time I saw this movie, I didn't like it that much because I didn't live here, and I realize that's like kind of a shitty thing to say because like I live in LA and I love Clueless now, but like I moved here, and then like a lot of the jokes, like you get upset when somebody thinks you live below sunset, like that doesn't make sense to somebody who has never been here or lived here. But living here, it's like
even if you're appealing to just the people in Los Angeles, as of 2017, that's an audience of 4 million people. That's a great audience. Yeah. Let's cut away the chaff.
I think LA is so important to the vibe and the feel of Clueless that we would really need to do that. And LA has also changed in a lot of really dramatic ways since this movie was made.
Yeah.
And I think that we should pay homage to that and keep it in LA. If anybody else has any qualms with that, please speak your piece now. I know.
Go ahead, Bella.
I agree with you because at first I was trying to think of like, because something that you said prior to the recording beginning was about how it's so much about like wealthy, privileged teens that don't exactly realize the privilege that they sit in, and that's something that maybe we could speak to even more right now. But I was trying to think of it in terms of what are other areas, what are other communities in the U.S. or potentially
like
even
south of
outside.
Ventura.
South of Ventura. That's a completely different culture down there.
Yeah.
I've never been there. I don't know what it is.
Basically, the rich people live between Sunset and Ventura.
Weird.
Because the closer you are to the actual hills, the wealthier you are.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I was thinking of, like, there are similar wealth disparities in other cities or even outside of cities where that's fascinating to look at as well. Like, one of the towns that I lived in was Santa Fe, New Mexico as a kid. And there's like a huge rivalry between the different high schools there because there's the Native American school and then there's the public lower income schools. And then there's like all these private schools. There's all these private schools where very, very wealthy, privileged, predominantly white families send all of their kids. And so growing up, that becomes a huge social disparity. And so I was like imagining it in a slightly less popular town than Los Angeles, but kind of demonstrating the same.
I think the core concept of like just the inherently rich part of town, I think plays anywhere, and that's why this is a very far-reaching movie and works for all sorts of audiences. But I think in terms of setting for the movie, it's like that's why it plays everywhere. But I think the reason why it works in Los Angeles best is because Los Angeles culture, just because it's so enmeshed in Hollywood, has so much shorthand that regardless of where in the world you are, sometimes that's understood.
Right.
There are a lot of people who don't understand south of Sunset or north or whatever, but they'll know Sunset Boulevard is a place in LA and they'll go, okay, we get it and can apply that to where we live. Like, you either live in the foothills of Tucson or you don't.
Yeah.
Is what I'm
it's
saying.
also like what Paul just said about how LA has changed so much even in the past 25 years. Like, that's a huge reason why I changed my mind. Because I was thinking, like, this movie is, no matter how they remake it, it's meant to have, you're supposed to have fun. It's supposed to be cracking jokes. It's supposed to be self-aware. You're meant to have fun with it. And so, like, what better way than to pay homage to the one that was already made and show a contrast of when it was made originally and how LA looks to teenagers now.
I think that's fair.
My other overarching pitch for what this remake should be. So my biggest issue with the original one is that she fucks her brother.
That's so weird.
I think that
They're
is...
not related!
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, just no. If you fuck your stepbrother, you're still doing something weird. I'm sorry. So
that's
and
odd.
to be fair, I do think that is part of Emma, the book. I looked up before we started recording like the plot of Emma, and apparently Clueless is very faithful to it. It like as faithful as it could be, considering that it is a completely different thing. My pitch for this is that you still have basically the same characters, a lot of the same themes are addressed, but you base it on Pride and Prejudice, which if you're not familiar, it's Pride and Prejudice is basically a young woman who's single, a rich guy moves in next to her, and she is chasing him, but then she meets his friend, who she hates at first, and over the course of the book, she and the friend fall in love together. And
Isn't the rich guy way older than her?
No.
No?
Not in...
I might be confusing it with another one of the books of that era.
Yeah.
I'm confusing it with Jane Eyre.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not that. There's no crazy lady in the attic.
That's what I was going to say.
No, I mean, I would love to do a Jane Eyre version of Clueless, but I don't think that's right, and I don't think that it fits. Actually, I wouldn't love it.
And then it just turns out that the crazy person in the attic has been the high school mascot the whole time.
I think the brother fucking is really, like, what turns people off about this movie.
Well, it's exactly what they were making fun of in Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah. I hate that you've seen that and not Clueless. But
I may have watched Comedy Central more than I watched the channels that were showing Clueless.
MTV. Which is
I didn't really watch MTV.
But I do think that would be something that would be really helpful. And obviously, like, a lot of... It would be a loose adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, like this is a loose adaptation of Emma. But I think that at least taking that, like, core concept and structure of Pride and Prejudice will assuage any, like...
Isn't that, though, the premise behind things like Pretty in Pink, where she's going... there's some movie where, like, oh, we're going after the main guy, but we realized that the person we're really interested in was our friend the whole time.
Well, it's not. They're not friends. They hate each other. In Pride and Prejudice.
Okay.
They hate each other, and there's a bunch of, like, drama about, like, will they, won't they, blah, 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 and then so-and-so gets, like, engaged, or they get like a letter that Mr. Darcy is engaged to somebody else, and she's
Ooh,
like,
Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy,
Darcy.
But I think that it will serve it better, and I looked it up. We don't have to like go into details of how that would work now, but I do think that it's important to not have her fuck her brother.
No, I don't know about Bella, but I'm on board with having her not fuck her brother.
Okay.
If Bella wants to cast a dissenting vote and have Cher...
Because I love that she fucks her brother. That's my favorite part.
That's strange.
What if it was not Paul Rudd?
No, then
yeah,
it can't.
exactly.
It's not okay if it's not Paul Rudd.
It would have been really funny if they cast an actual Baldwin in this, but because I watched this movie called Sliver the other day with William Baldwin, and he was so hot.
Billy Baldwin?
Yeah, he was so hot.
Okay.
And then he got really fat, like really fast. He was hot in one movie, and then after that, it was like, oh no.
At least it's saved
Billy,
forever.
stop drinking.
The movie I watched last night, which was actually podcast prep for a future episode, or depending on when this comes out, a previous episode. I don't remember. I watched Last Action Hero.
Oh, I've never seen that.
First of all, it's great, but it's absolutely my kind of sense of humor.
Yeah.
So, if you guys like me...
I mean, I do very much like you, but I think that movies that are your sense of humor are typically things that I don't love.
Right, but in the sense that it's very, very meta, where that's a movie where they would make the joke of, oh man, that dude's totally a Baldwin, and it's literally a Baldwin.
Yeah. I like that, like airplane humor.
Yeah. You'll like this.
Okay. I've always been curious about it because I really liked Damon Wayans for a little bit when I was a kid.
Oh, he's not in the movie.
What movie? Oh, I'm thinking Last Boy Scout.
That's a different one.
Completely different film. I don't know what The Last Action Hero is.
It's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Okay, different thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyways, so...
No, it's literally an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah.
When you watch...
No,
literally. It's a movie about an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Oh, weird.
I know, right? It's super weird. It's great.
We went some strange places in the 90s.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I loved it. I'm going to talk about that. If you're excited about that, check out that episode whenever it came out or will come out.
I'm
not sure.
So... Do we kind of agree? So I'm
not really familiar with either Emma or Pride and Prejudice.
Fair. I think that one of the biggest things that you're going to come up with this movie and remaking it is that you can't make the original too similar to the first one, because there's a lot of really strange plotting in this that's based on Emma, and that's why the movie has kind of like a languid pace and like there's not really traditional structure because it's based on a book. And I think that just doing that again will not service this movie very well, but I think that basing it on Pride and Prejudice or another piece of classical literature would serve it very well.
I think either way, I'm not necessarily opposed to either pitch, but I think that Clueless is so quintessential 90s, like it's literally smack dab in the 90s and like took everything in that decade and kind of combined it and filmed it and made it that way.
Yeah,
and
like
I think
a time capsule for our generation.
Absolutely is.
Yeah.
And I feel like even just taking it and taking all of that shorthand and language of that era and decade and changing it will make it a different enough movie and will have it speaking a different language that even if there are similar plot points, those similar plot points have existed for a while. Yeah. Like they literally just, like as of this recording, Emma, the movie, is in theaters.
Yeah, totally.
Like, that stuff's still happening.
Which looks great.
Yeah, I would go see it. Like, especially because I think even that isn't a faithful adaptation, because it's like, let's be silly about it.
Yeah, totally.
Also, I tried really, I kept going through the list of actresses, and, like, that actress playing Emma kept coming up. I was like, well, how about... No, I can't.
I actually cast her as something not the lead.
I'm okay with that.
Because it literally hit me like a lightning bolt when I was watching the movie, and when I say who it is, you're gonna agree, I think. Do we want to...
I have an opinion.
So we can leave.
Well, hold on. Bella, what do you think?
About which topic?
All of it.
Yeah.
About
like,
plot.
do you think that...
What are the important concepts and core aspects of plot for this movie that you think? Do you think following the original book Emma makes sense? Do you want to follow Pride and Prejudice? What are your thoughts?
I feel like playing a game of telephone with it, where, like, Clueless was based on Emma. I want this to be based on Clueless, but, like, take its own, which sounds obvious, but
no, I mean, it's not unreasonable.
I think it should be based on Clueless, guys.
Well, because they definitely do remakes where it's like it's ignoring the previous remake and going back to and doing another original adaptation.
Yeah,
I can't think of an example
offhand. I don't agree with that because this is a remake of Clueless, and if we wanted to do a remake of Emma, we could be looking at the old Emma movie that came out, I think, a few years
Gwyneth
after
Paltrow.
Clueless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, that was before.
It was before.
Maybe.
Around the same time.
No, well, Emma came out after
before
Shakespeare
Harvey
in
Weinstein
Love.
got in trouble. That's all I know.
That's a big chunk of time. He was allowed to do what he wanted for a very, very long time.
It was literally the next year.
Oh, wow.
Clueless came out in 1995. Emma came out in 1996.
Interesting.
Wow, okay.
I mean, it is a very good movie. I prefer Clueless because it's just like way more fun.
Yeah.
But the Emma movie with Gwyneth Paltrow does have Toni Collette in the Brittany Murphy role, which is...
One of these movies was way more successful than the other one.
Yeah, no shit. Wonder which one.
So I feel like keeping elements of classical literature, especially Jane Austen themes, I love that, and it's very endearing, and I think that should stay. But I think that whoever's writing this wouldn't necessarily need to go back to the Jane Austen text. It would be more pulling from what did we treasure about Clueless. And then, like, I would love to add more scenes of the widespread, larger LA subcultures that we get in the original. So, like, expand more on the subcultures of the teens of today, which they don't get into in the original Clues. I think because they were trying to follow the beats and the pace of Emma.
Yeah, I agree with that, and it also very much seems like it's not very cliquey. In this, it a little bit more seems like everybody is friends, which is great, and that is a little bit more how high school works now. Yeah. At the time, it was not.
I mean, we are living in a post High School Musical, the series world.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's not even go there.
But the basic idea is that the original High School Musical is a movie that is all cliques. It is all, this is your group, you do not stray from that group.
Sure, you can't play basketball and sing.
Right, that's the thing.
But then they decide that we're all in this together.
That's as much as we can afford.
And,
but the reason why this new thing, which I haven't watched, but apparently is a thing, called High School Musical, the musical, the series exists is because modern kids watching that, wanting to remake it, are like, that's not how school is anymore. That there's nothing here for us.
Yeah.
And so the only reason they're able to remake it is because they're putting on a production of High School Musical, the musical. And it's just this show about them putting on High School Musical as a musical.
That hurts my brain.
Yeah.
That's too much.
And yet...
would rather not, also, like, make something new.
It's Disney. That's not going to happen.
We're getting a live-action Bambi. Like, can we not?
But, I mean, because all of their movies are so well-regarded. And yet they keep making money.
Well, their original movies are, and even, like, Zootopia, if you go back to that, like, which is really not that. That's, like, the last actual Disney, like, not another company or not another intellectual property interviewing. That movie is great, but oh no, we just have to remake all the movies that you like. Anyways, I hate it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Thanks, I hate it.
But in the sense that I agree, there are... It's not necessarily that there are cliques, it's just literally the area of town you live in. Mm-hmm. And if we're doing a north of Sunset and a south of Sunset, although in this case I think it's going to be an east of the 405 and a west of the 405...
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. Like, they're like really wealthy pockets. If you go 2 blocks up, wealthy as shit. If you go 2 blocks down, I live here. I don't make very much money. But, like, I definitely think that LA has changed so much, and the different areas of LA have found themselves in ways that they had not when this was happening. And the west side was a little bit more where it was popping versus, like, the east side and downtown was very dangerous.
Right.
And, like, downtown has been gentrified to the point where, like, you can go there, you know?
Well, I think what we could do is we could take... Because, like, all of that's happening in the city, but school district lines aren't being redrawn.
Yeah.
And short of, like, putting this at a charter school, I think you could very easily put this at a public high school where...
No, it needs to be Beverly Hills High.
Half the area has been gentrified and half the area has not.
That's great. Yeah. I love that idea.
Because the thing is, like, you guys saw where I lived in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
It was nice, but I lived there.
Yeah.
Right. It was, and I think the original Clueless kind of starts to hint at that the public school has, like, all these different kids, but there's, like, a very brief scene when Cher is starting to explain to Ty, she's, like, introducing the cliques to Ty, but they don't go very deep into it, and then, like, they go to this one house party, and everyone is kind of at the same socioeconomic status, and I'm wondering, like, what's up with all the other, like, like Travis. What's his story? Where does he come from?
I actually think that the house that the party was being held at was lower class.
It was, yeah.
And that was why like Cher was
Travis's
like kind
party,
of
right?
being shitty about going to the Valley.
No, that was Travis.
I think that whatever this adaptation ends up being, it needs to do it. I think that Clueless actually does.
They
hint
do,
towards that, but they do it really subtly.
They don't do as many personifications. Like, those characters are not being brought out.
Yes. We don't see people's bank accounts.
No, but I thought
I want numbers!
I kind of thought that that's what Ty was. Like, Ty was an introduction of someone from a different socioeconomic background.
Totally.
And then just being completely, like, brought up in...
Yeah.
And, like,
absolutely.
She was an entirely different person, and then just, like, I guess falls in love with Cher and just like gives up her entire identity.
When you start hanging out with somebody who lives in a house like that, you do because you're intrigued by it. Yeah. And like I don't think that they ever show you where Ty lives in this, but I can guarantee you it was not nice. Mm-hmm. Like
that's what I found. That's something I would have found more interesting.
Yeah.
Right. Also, she comes in with this like Bronx accent or something, and it's like, what? I want to know where you just came from.
No way, you guys have coke here?
Yeah.
Oh my god, the best.
And then she loses it like halfway through.
So here's my first question: where can I score some grass?
Yeah, it's
herbal.
Also, if you look at Brittany Murphy's early performances, she does that voice a lot.
Yeah,
and I think that it probably I don't.
I'm sure it's just where she grew up.
Yeah, I don't really know that much about Brittany Murphy past. Before this, I would assume that she probably grew up around New York or something.
Yeah,
or like
she must have.
On the East Coast, just because she does that accent in a lot of, which is weird because she plays Lou Ann in King of the Hill well.
Brittany Murphy was born Brittany Ann Bertolotti.
Oh, wow.
On November 10th, 1977 in Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow.
Weird. She must have moved somewhere else after that. We don't need to do the.
We don't need to do the full 23andMe. But her father moved back to New Jersey and as a native New Yorker.
Oh, New Jersey.
That's the accent.
So New Jersey, New Yorker.
That makes a lot more sense.
But yeah, I mean, like, and her passing was so tragic, and it was so sudden and so weird. And it was like a carbon monoxide leak because her husband died very shortly after in the same house, or at least that was like the story. There are also like stories about how her husband had a lot of like crime connections and things.
I thought she had a drug overdose.
No.
Oh.
No. Well, that was what everybody thought when it first happened. Oh. But then her husband died in the same house like very, very shortly after. So Brittany Murphy like absolutely did have drugs in her system, I think, but I think that like later on they revealed that was not what happened.
Killed her.
I mean, I'm sure that like being high off your ass does not help when there's like a toxic substance in the air.
Well,
and like
Bella and I were talking earlier. Like, you do enough cocaine, eventually you can't smell anything.
You can't smell
carbon
monoxide anyway.
Yeah, you just burn out all of those receptors.
Really?
I don't know.
I don't. That's well. I mean, like it's very temporary.
I've been partying for too long. I can't even smell the cocaine anymore.
Can still taste it though.
Just get right up in the gums. Yeah. Between the toes is all I'm saying.
Well, you don't put cocaine.
Well,
if you're putting cocaine between your toes, you're doing it wrong. Well,
here's the thing. So
I'm gonna put some cocaine between my toes and chill out.
Guys, okay?
But in that vein, like no. In that vein, the high school I went to was like the nicer public high. I went to public high school, but it was in the nicer area of town in Tucson.
Yeah.
And so when people were talking about the drug problems at the various schools, like pot. My school was cocaine and black tar heroin.
Whoa!
And black tar heroin, I'm not making this up. People were shooting it between their toes because they wouldn't
they
get
don't
caught.
have any of the veins.
The good stuff.
And so that's what the rich kids at my school were doing.
I don't want to put anything that's prefaced with black tar into my body.
Any part of me.
Like black tar cereal. Like, I'm gonna pass on that. Unfortunately.
Taste the richness.
I don't know if you've ever eaten anything super black. Your poop comes out black, and it's weird.
Yeah, like
it's almost as bad as like I worked at my first job ever was at a Dairy Queen, and the blue like syrup that you would put to make things blue, your shit would turn blue. You would poop blue. And I'm sorry, there's something in that gives you cancer. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't.
Definitely.
There's no. There's
Nothing
no.
should be able to go through your digestive system.
And also, like, I know, there's literally acid. There's so many different kinds of acids you have to meet. And the fact that it's just like, no, I'm still blue. It's like, oh, no.
Remember me. And that's all of that we can afford.
Costing you thousands of dollars.
They're going to come after me. I'm going to change the subject entirely for a second.
Yeah, do we want to go to casting?
No. We're not there yet. So my question is, so when Dion gets on the highway,
Oh god.
where was that actually? Because that was not the highway.
What?
They would be dead.
No, well, I just like looked at the film and like just looking around, I was like, this isn't the highway. This
Well,
is
it's not.
maybe Sepulveda.
The
That was
highway.
that was
I
a
mean,
free-
like,
there are freeways that like
I
dip
don't-
into main
Yeah,
roads.
I don't
in
think
LA.
it-
Not
I
in
don't-
Beverly Hills.
I don't think it was a major highway.
The
I feel like it was
Santa
probably
Monica.
like, what is that one that it had to have been somewhere where like you can shut it down and be okay for a little bit. Like there are a lot of highways like leading into downtown that are like that, and there are highways like over in Glendale and whatever. I
agree, but this
don't
movie takes place almost entirely in Beverly Hills.
in Beverly
But it's
Hills.
movie
Right.
magic.
Yeah,
You can go
like
anywhere in LA.
Like,
the
the-
new Birds of Prey movie takes place in New York, but it was
And it
all
does
shot
not.
in it
New
was all
Zealand, right?
no, it was all shot in the LA Toy District downtown.
Are you serious?
Yeah, all of
Oh.
it,
They
every
shot
single
some
bit of
in New
it.
Zealand.
And, like,
Did
this-
they?
I thought so.
That wasn't what I watched that
Maybe
movie
they
twice
just
in
got
theaters, and
funding from.
I liked that movie.
I adore that movie.
It's
and
dumb and fun, and I liked it.
I think it's smart and fun, and I loved it.
But like literally like when she's leaving, when Alicia Silverstone gets mugged, she's literally at Circus Liquor in Burbank.
yeah,
And that's when I texted you both. I was like, she's at the Circus Liquor place. I know where she is.
I worked next to that for a while.
The
That's
first
funny.
acting class I ever took in LA, I had to drive past it to get there.
Oh, cute!
Yeah,
you didn't
I was
know.
on
You
Burbank.
didn't know.
Aww.
Yeah.
It's like one of the most famous scenes. It's like
There's a lot of things that happen at that Circus
there's, like-
Liquor. It's so iconic.
Yeah, totally.
It's like almost Randy's Donuts level.
LOL.
Didn't get that.
Randy's Donuts is that place with like the giant donut.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's Randy's
it's in a
Donuts.
lot of things.
Oh,
It's
to
in,
be like,
it's
we're
in,
in LA.
It's an Iron Man 2, the best Marvel
Oh.
film.
Yep.
Everybody loves Iron Man 2. It's the best.
What's interesting is that a lot of people dislike. I don't mind Iron Man 2, but Iron Man 3 is the one that really splits
I
people. And that
hate
one's
that
great.
movie.
I
I
love
lost
Iron Man
interest
3.
in
Really,
Doesn't matter.
that was my Marvel jumping off point.
Too bad, missing out.
I'm not.
Okay.
Anyways,
Either way,
anyways.
so in terms of like we've kind of talked about tone and setting, but we haven't actually nailed anything down. Are we putting this in Beverly Hills again?
I think that she should live in Beverly Hills area just because that's so important to this story. I do think that we should. Well, she's actually in Bel Air in this. And I think that it would be smarter to move her to Beverly Hills because those are two completely different areas.
Well, if she's in Bel Air, we can have her going to school in Westwood, which is a bit more of a socioeconomic mix.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's a great
I
idea.
wasn't kidding when I said you can literally do east of the 405 and west of the 405.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bella?
I don't have a strong, because I feel like any part of any higher end part of LA is going to be the same. I mean,
As long as we're close to
me,
the
it all
mountains.
looks the same. It could be Santa Monica, it could be Brentwood, it could be Bel Air.
All right.
To
Do
me.
you have a few more LA boroughs that you'd like to name, just in case?
These are the top 10 LA boroughs.
I love my borough.
Could be a high rise downtown. Let's move it to the arts
Can you just,
district.
it's just a single building downtown. It's Snowpiercer, but stacked.
Stacked Piercer.
It's
Stacked Piercer.
Daddy
We
keeps
pierce the
all his
sky.
lawyers.
Sky Piercer.
Sky Piercer.
There it is. That's the
That's it.
name.
That's the next
All right.
Bond movie.
Bong Joon-ho. Bong Joon-ho. We get
Oscar winner,
him on
Bong
the
Joon-ho.
phone.
And then in terms of plot, like she ends up with the friend instead of the brother, which I agree,
Yeah.
or potentially doesn't end up with anybody, which I'm also okay with.
I do think that we should pay a tribute to Jane. So Jane Austen basically wrote the same fucking book twice. They meet, they hate each other, they fall in love at the end. So I think
He could just be like the brother of her best friend.
Could be Dion's brother or Ty's brother.
Yeah.
I don't understand
you're
your
really into
commitment
this
to making
brother
him a
lover
brother.
thing.
What is wrong with the brother of someone you are not related to at
No
all.
No one's. I just think, well, I don't know.
It's the same reason why the Flash is creepy. Like the new CW Flash, like literally Barry Allen and Iris West grew up in the same house together as children. They're not blood related, but it's still weird because they have the same dad.
I'm not talking about having grown up in the same house together. I'm talking about
they have the same dad.
A friend's brother.
I still think that it should be somebody that is a little bit newer to her social circle, as opposed to somebody that she's basically grown up with. Because it's really more that to me that registers as being like a little off.
Okay.
Then it's
Whoa,
her
I've known my
stepbrother.
boyfriend since I was 6. Watch it.
Have you actually?
Yes.
That's impressive.
I've been dating him since I was 6.
I mean, I don't like.
I've known him since I was 6.
I didn't know that.
I don't always think that that's weird, but I do think it's weird that like.
I have ghost-related questions about that.
It's Jane Austen is so centered around being like a romantic comedy and trying to find your perfect match, and the whole like your perfect match has been here the entire time is a little old to me, and I think it works better if it's somebody newer to her social circle.
Okay.
I mean, that is very...
I agree with that.
10 things I hate about you, but I was going to say, okay, what about Ty?
What do you mean?
Is Ty her love interest?
Yeah, what if it's Ty? What if Ty's the eventual love interest?
But then it does, we are turning it into
I think that
queer love story, which there's nothing wrong with that.
I think that this movie, when we get into casting, I think that I'm gonna get into a lot of reasons why I don't love that.
Okay.
I want this movie to be something that's approachable, and I don't want it to become a cause. And whenever you adapt something and make a remake of something, but we're gonna make her gay, it's a cause.
Okay.
And as opposed to making like a good, fun movie that approaches a lot of themes that a lot of people so there are a lot of dumb people in this country, and in order to impose important ideas onto them,
we found that out this week. Yes,
in order to impose
further evidence,
in order to impose important ideas onto them that will help them reach a higher comprehension of what the human race is as a whole, you have to incept them. You can't beat them over the head with it.
I agree.
And I think that making Cher a lesbian in this would be beating them over the head with it.
Guys, I've taken care of the token lesbians in the movie.
Here's the thing, I have 2.
Okay.
I kind of felt, I had a feeling. I also, Ty should absolutely be a lesbian, like,
I made Ty bi.
Ty bi.
Yeah.
Ty's not the one I made a lesbian, but...
Look, the important thing is that we're all good people who are conscious of social causes.
We all want a lesbian.
And,
yes,
I mean that's currently the high school experience. The current high school experience is experimenting. In
and I
all
think
forms
it
of
would
things.
be good to see that as like
figuring out which nostril you prefer,
and to not have it be the main character, but to have it be part of the main cast in their circle. Is like it's totally normal that this couple that's friends with us is gay.
When we get to my pick for Dion, I think you're gonna really appreciate it.
Well, I think you're gonna appreciate my pick for Dion.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Fight.
All right. So then, in that case, the honest truth is that we're not deviating from the current plot that much, other than just like it's not the brother. It's someone else that's being reintroduced. So basically 2 people can arrive at the high school at the same time. Yeah. Ty and...
It could be Christian.
And the Paul Rudd character.
Yeah. It could be Christian. And that could just be, like... Or just a character like Christian.
Well, what I was going to say is, like, 2 people arrive at the high school at the same time. Ty and Josh. And she likes one and hates the other.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I think that
works. I think that's the way you can do it. And literally, they can be twins, Bella. Would that help you?
So she still gets to fuck somebody's brother.
That is correct.
Great.
I'm a brother lover.
And that's his...
Anyways, so let's get to casting, because we've been talking for a while and we haven't touched it.
Well, yeah, we always end with that. But I was trying to make sure we have the plot first. Because I feel like that should be done first, and then we get into it.
I think
that... But that's what I'm just trying to make sure we feel good about where we're going with it.
Yeah, I think that the shell of the plot should echo the original Clueless. I just would like to rearrange a couple different things. Yeah. And pull from a couple... It doesn't even have to be Pride and Prejudice. It can be other Jane Austen texts. I do think that it should still be Jane Austen, because
I agree with that.
The romantic comedy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that we should like give and take from a couple different texts.
I agree with that also. I just wanted to make sure we cleared that up. Yeah. Cool. Then yes, let's get into casting.
Cool. Who is our Cher?
So my Cher I really only know from one thing, though she's been in other stuff.
Yeah.
And I just think she's a phenomenal actress, and we know she can dance. And I cast from, because I wanted someone who's just like, can get that wit and that just cutting sarcasm. Mm-hmm. And so I went with an actress named Thomasine McKenzie.
She was one of the few parts about Jojo Rabbit that worked for me. I really don't like that movie, but she was good in it, and I think that she was very good in Leave No Trace. I think she's a great actress. I don't think that she has the comedic chops to make it, and she also does not possess that Valley Girl thing. My pick for it is Kiernan Shipka.
That's what I picked.
Oh, fun. So you're wrong.
Here's the thing. I have Kiernan Shipka on here too.
Okay.
But I specifically put her in a role because every other time I've brought up Kiernan Shipka, people have been like, ugh. And I'm like, okay.
What? No, she's the only part about Sabrina that works.
There are some people who just really do not like her.
I know people that work on the Sabrina show, and she is supposedly lovely and like a great influence.
That's what I heard also. Like, I've seen interviews with her, and she's just very sweet.
She's phenomenal in Mad Men. She's great on Sabrina. She holds that show. That show's garbage, and she holds it together. But
you also had Kiernan Shipka for Cher?
And she also...
I did. I actually don't love her, but I think that she's perfect for Cher.
And she even has that Valley Girl lilt.
Yeah.
She grew up here. Like, I just think that she would be a perfect choice for it, and that she would really pull it off. Because she has the comedic chops.
Then, because it's 2 against 1, we're going to go with her. But when we get to where I actually put her, you'll understand why.
Yeah, totally.
Because of people like Bella.
Okay.
What?
Because people just happen to not care for her.
It's interesting because I think there's something about Cher where she's adorable, she's endearing, but there's something that kind of it's a little obnoxious about her, and I want to keep that. And
because she's been rich her whole life and doesn't understand that.
That's how I feel about Kiernan Shipka. Is like I think she has the potential to be better at acting, but right now I don't think she's not great.
Yeah, I don't think she's a great actress, but I love her personality, and like for somebody that grew up here, I think that. For her to be on a show like that and to be on 2 shows like that and still like have a good head on her shoulders.
Oh yeah, she's not like losing
be
it.
A good influence.
As far as we know.
I think and also like her Instagram is really fun, and she seems like she's like more with it than a lot of other actresses that are her age, because a lot of other actresses her age are surrounded by people that are just telling them that they're great all the time, and to the point that they believe it and they become monsters. And she's not like that, and I think she would be a great addition to this cast.
Well, that's like what Cher is too. Like, Cher's
level-headed.
She's really intelligent underneath.
Yeah.
And I feel like Kiernan Shipka, we're just gonna keep watching her grow and blossom, and she is very, like, articulate. She has her own thoughts and opinions, but it's kind of under this Valley Girl, Los Angeles.
And my favorite part kind of about this movie is that it's not Mean Girls. She's a loving, caring human that has just happened to grow up very privileged and does not have that in check, because how could they possibly? Like, volunteering at a soup kitchen is really only going to do you so much good in terms of that. And one of my favorite parts about this movie is how it humanizes them and makes them into, like, she's not horrible, and she does want good for the world, and she wants good for people that are not, like, helping the teacher. Fine, that's cute. Do you want...
You might not be able to hear this, but I have the hiccups right now.
Do you want water?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll get you water.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Do you need someone to scare you and not blow out the mic? Yeah,
I was trying to hold my breath and it wasn't working.
Yeah. Aww.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So now that Kiernan is that, let's move on to Dion. Sam, who did you pick for Dion?
I went first for this one. You go first.
Okay, so I picked this young trans actress named Josie Tota, who you would probably know from their roles when they identified as a boy. They were in a lot of Disney Channel things. They were like the funny... I'm going to say Jewish. It just implies Judaism, a lot of the performances that this child gave.
Mm-hmm.
The term you're looking for is Nebushi.
Only you can
Thank you.
say.
Yeah,
what is this child's name?
Josie Tota.
Ah. That
yeah.
One. Okay.
They were the child lead of that show Champions with Andrews Holm, and she has within the last couple years came out as trans. And she has a really great manager who I know. And I think that she's going to be a really phenomenal actress eventually. And I think that she would be a great Dion.
That's a good choice. I think that's a good pull. Bella, who did you have for Dion?
I said Amanda Stenberg. Amanda Stenberg.
She's great. I really like her.
Yeah, and I feel like she has a great level of sass, but also innocent sweetness. That's a good balance that the original Dion also had.
How old is she? Oh, she's 21.
21,
yeah.
That's
she's
around
the
right age.
All my cast is like around early 20s, 19.
Yeah, I tried really hard to pick people in that range as well because I like the whole casting 30-year-olds to play teenagers thing works really well for movies like Scream and like horror things because you don't really want to put 18-year-olds through that.
Right.
But for something that's like cute and fun like this, I think you should absolutely pick.
So you didn't cast Eddie Murphy for every role, like you said via text. So these are the people you're saying, but really what you mean is Eddie Murphy in every role in prosthetics.
Yeah, definitely. That really
I think that's also a lovely choice.
Makes everything better. Yeah, I think that's a lovely choice as well. Sam, what did you pick for Dion?
My Dion is Tati Gabrielle, who also is in Sabrina, and she's also in The 100.
Like her, I think she plays too old.
I didn't look up her age.
Because even in Sabrina, she does not seem like a high schooler to me.
I mean, it doesn't list her age, but like her age playing range is 15 to 22, which means she's for sure older than that.
She does not play 15. I think that she plays 20.
I cast her because I was looking as one of the ways Dion is originally described is someone who is very high fashion and very fashion forward, but Dion in this movie ends up dressing very similar to the way Cher dresses.
Yeah.
It's just, it's the way Cher's dressing, but with a hat.
Yeah. I mean, basically, yeah.
But now, fashion's different, and being fashion forward is very, very different than being fashion conscious and being fashion forward are two very different things. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to cast someone who could kind of epitomize that. And that's why I thought Tati Gabrielle would be a good choice for that. I think...
And I agree. She wears all of the couture stuff in Sabrina very well. And I think that she has a great style. She of the three, I think Amandla is probably my favorite.
See, I'm leaning more towards your choice.
Really? That's nice. Well, I try to not pick my own choices in this just because
of course. Well, there's three of us.
And yeah, I do think that Josie Toto I think that having Cher's best friend be trans or be homosexual or something would be a very smart choice. And also, like, it's not like this is the only black role.
No.
Yeah, and like Amanda would absolutely have a place in this in another world where she would be interested in it.
Totally.
If we would want to go with Josie Toto, though, I think that would be a phenomenal choice, and especially knowing their history in comedy.
Yeah.
Like, because they were like the funny, like, comedic relief in comedies.
Great.
For a really long time.
I'm fine. I've never seen Josie in anything, but I'm totally fine with that.
Nor have I, but I fully support that.
Cool. Getting trans representation, guys.
Absolutely. So then, Bella, will you tell us about your tie?
My tie is... Oh my gosh, I learned how to say her name and now I forgot it. Auli'i Cravalho. She played...
Moana?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a great choice. I never even thought about her for this.
She's super... Because I like the idea of Thai being... like native or Latina in some way. Because I kind of felt like Brittany Murphy was exuding that, but
I feel like Brittany Murphy's character was fully supposed to be Latina.
Yeah, but she wasn't.
Way she was.
I know. Yeah, no.
It was a Hollywood Latina.
Yeah, so I want it to be like a real, like, indigenous or just. And she also has this really. I think of my entire cast, she might be the youngest, and she seems the youngest. She's very sweet, but she also has, I could see the edge to her that Ty needs for the moment where she kind of turns and tries to, like, take on her own identity away from Cher. So
she's
I thought
19, so she's actually not that much younger than a lot of people.
That's great.
She's not a lot, but she has a baby face, and that's what I like about her.
She's a phenomenal choice
She
for
can come
this.
in and be this, like, innocent little... beauty.
And we could also have her sing something.
Yeah!
Because her voice is so good.
Yeah!
I also kind of wanted someone who was a little bit... I wanted someone who wasn't white. And so I went with Lana Condor, who is the new lead in To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You.
Oh, yeah!
She's also Jubilee in, like, the X-Men movies and everything. So she's been around, and in those movies, even though all her stuff got cut because they hate Jubilee, which is dumb.
Yeah.
Like, all, like, those bonus features where it's, like, them and Jubilee at the mall, she's the best one because she's fun.
Yeah.
And all the
cute.
other ones are like, oh, yeah, we're in an X-Men movie.
Which X-Men movie?
The
Apocalypse?
prior to the Apocalypse ones. But yes, the Days of Future Past.
Yeah, those. Yeah.
And
still haven't watched those. Probably won't.
It's my genre, not yours.
Yeah, no, I've always been interested in Days of Future Past because I do like the original X-Men movies. Like, they're like fun and dumb. But,
yeah.
Anyways, so I picked the only white person on the list, therefore they're probably not going to get this part. Olivia Cooke, who
I like her.
She just gives me like really strong Brittany Murphy vibes.
Yeah.
And I think that she would be great at this, and she has one of those faces that you can like. I think one of the biggest obstacles with this is that you need somebody that you can very easily glam down and make look kind of drab. Like, there are certain people, like, Olivia Cooke was in this movie with Anya Taylor-Joy. Anya Taylor-Joy is somebody that is, like, she just has the doe eyes, like, she's gorgeous. There's no glamming that girl. Versus, like, Olivia Cooke is a beautiful woman, but, like, there's a way that you can deglam her. And I actually think that about all of these choices. So I think that we chose smartly in those regards. But I
think all of these are good choices. I like Olivia Cooke. I certainly saw her in... The only thing I've seen her in is Ready Player One, which is a movie I absolutely hate. Yeah. But I liked her.
I still have never seen that.
Don't.
Thoroughbreds is incredible, though.
Yeah,
I mean... want to watch that. It's not scary.
My understanding is that I would probably enjoy Thoroughbreds.
Yeah, I think you would like it.
I just haven't made time for it yet.
That's fair.
That said, if you were to choose between Lana Condor and... I don't know.
I think Moana. Sorry to call her Moana, I just don't know how to pronounce her name.
Auli'i Cravalho.
Auli'i Cravalho.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think she would be a great choice. And she's also not really been in very many live action things, if any, to my knowledge.
Yeah, we don't see her face a lot. So.
Yeah, so I think she has a really cute face that would make a good, like, Brittany Murphy.
Yeah.
She is in pre-production for Spring Awakening.
Oh, fun!
Oh, wow!
She's playing Wendla Bergman.
Yes.
She's gonna be great.
Oh my!
Yes.
Do you know Spring Awakening very well?
A little bit. I know, like, the basic premise.
I'm not a big musical person, but I would go so far as to call it my favorite musical.
It's damn good.
It's so good. It's a rock opera about coming into your own sexual awakening. In,
like I said, I know what it is.
1800s Germany.
But tell them.
Yeah, it's about like sexual awakening in 1900s Germany when sex education is not a real thing, and it's beautiful, and it like I saw it at an age where it really like meant a lot, and yeah, she's gonna be great in that, and she's also gonna be great in our Clueless remake.
Yeah, she is. So the next one that I have in order is Josh.
Is that Paul Rudd?
That's the Paul Rudd. So my turn.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So. My actor is this dude named Charlie Plummer.
Oh, I like Charlie Plummer.
Charlie Plummer. I thought of him originally, but...
Who, in the 90s version, he's better casting for Travis, but for our version now, I think he's better casting for Josh.
Which one is Travis? Is that Jeremy Sisto?
That's the skater guy.
Okay.
Charlie Plummer is
Breckenmeyer.
Is what?
Charlie Plummer isn't who I thought he was.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, fuck Charlie
Plummer. I'm going to cut that and we'll stick with your original reaction of, yeah, no, I love him. He's great. Good job, Sam.
Okay.
Yay. He is, he's in Looking for Alaska. He's on Lean on Pete. He's in a couple of other things.
The trailer for Lean on Pete makes me laugh like no other thing, and I know that it's not a funny movie, but it's just oh my god, that trailer's so funny. The trailer for every single Kelly Reichardt movie makes me laugh, though.
Okay.
Can't get an address without an address. Can't get a name without a name. Oh god, it's the best. Anyways,
but the reason I went with him because he's like kind of an up and coming young guy, but he skews around the same age. He's not her brother.
Yeah.
But like depending on how he went, he could be, so it wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And just one of those people who can just like give good scowl. Mm-hmm. And like if you're gonna start with like a hate then love relationship, you gotta have the scowl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Charlie Plummer.
I picked this kid that really hasn't been in much, but I'm sure will be in things soon. His name he was in Neighbours, that show that Margot Robbie did for forever in Australia that got her start.
Yep.
His name is Felix Mallard.
And what kind of duck is he?
He's a sexy duck. He's got this like really
This
beautiful
is so weird.
hair
I know
swoop.
it's not him, but I literally had an audition with this week, and the dude I was partnered with looked a lot like this guy. It's not him, but it looked like him.
I think he has a really great look, and I think that he can do that brooding thing that Paul Rudd does so well in this movie. And yeah, I just looked up actors at this age, and I kind of just like picked the one that I thought was the hottest, which which is weird of me. Because...
Well, here's the thing. That's what I would have done for...
Oh, he's in Lock and Key. That's what he's in.
Yeah.
That in America that people would know. But I haven't seen that show, so I can't speak to its quality. But...
It just occurred to me that I don't have someone for this role, but you know who he would actually be perfect for is Elton.
Which one is... Oh, the gay child?
No, that's Christian.
The gay child.
Elton is the one that they're originally trying to set Ty up with.
I have someone for
supposedly the hottest kid in school.
Oh, yeah, he would be a great choice for that.
Yeah, so even if we don't...
my choice.
No,
no, we're ignoring Bella. And so, like, worst case scenario, we can throw him in the bowl for that. But, Bella, who did you have for Josh?
I picked a boy named Graham Rogers.
Tell us about Graham Rogers.
Graham Rogers hails from Nebraska. No, I don't know where he comes from, but he
was on Ray Donovan, apparently.
Oh, he's cute.
He's in Atypical.
He also
right
looks
now.
like me, so...
That's why I picked him.
Wait, really?
No.
That's weird.
I picked him because he's a little bit older, and I wanted him to be the one older, mature. Because I like that he's a college boy, and she wants.
Oh, you're right.
Mature.
I didn't even think about that. I forget. Paul Rudd looks so young in this movie.
I know, he's a baby.
That I
He looks the
forget
exact same.
that he has such a like cute little baby face, and his eyes are so piercing. I like forget that he's supposed. Paul Rudd's so hot and Clueless. I would fuck my brother if it was Paul Rudd.
See, that's what I'm saying. It never bothered me because it's him.
Yeah.
Well, here's the question:
anyways.
if he's in college, your choice is of the three of them definitely the correct one.
It's
However, are we putting him in college or are we putting him?
I think
in
he's
high
supposed
school?
to be in high school. I do
like that he's older and that he's outside of this social circle.
Then why would he be it? Because he's not her brother.
That's
why would
why
he
I
be
wanted
here?
him to be the older brother of one of the friends.
And I think that
okay.
if we keep him older, then I agree. I think it should be the brother. It should not be her stepbrother.
Yeah.
I can't think of a reason why this blonde boy would be Ty's older brother. But,
I don't know. It doesn't have to be Ty.
Once we get to my choice for Amber, it could be Amber's older brother.
It could, but I'd like to keep it closer to the circle. And since Ty is the one that's being introduced, I feel like he has to be related to Ty.
But also,
because the timing works out better that way.
Also, Graham Rogers does have a younger look, and even though he is older, he's in a high school show right now playing like a 12th grader, and he totally sells
I think he definitely passes as a senior.
And he also has the. I like that he keeps the sort of, like, wholesome, like, he has a very boy next door feel to him.
This dude looks like he's in his late 20s.
Well, in that picture, yeah.
Is he standing with Jimmy? Oh, no, it's John Voight.
Yeah, he's next to John Voight. Everybody looks old next to John Voight.
I just saw a John Voight movie for the first time on Wednesday.
You could put Kieran next to John Voight and she looked like a 40-year-old.
I'm happy to go with Graham Rogers if you like him.
Yeah.
Wait! Are we talking about Josh?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I totally
Josh,
messed
the
up.
brother.
I totally messed up.
Who did you think we were talking
Rogers
about?
was Travis.
This would be a terrible Travis.
Oh, well, who did you pick for Josh?
I picked Joe Keery.
Who?
From Stranger Things.
Bella, that's a better Travis.
Okay, then we'll switch them.
Let's do Graham Rogers is the guy
Josh.
that Kieran ends up. Well, then you also run into like Kieran is blonde and Graham is blonde.
It's a very Aryan relationship.
I kind of don't want to go with a blonde person.
Although to be fair, I also picked a blonde person for it.
Okay,
I had that thought briefly, but
I think Joe Keery as an older brother that she hates and ends up with is actually really cute. And I really like Joe Keery. If you guys you seem to hate that choice now.
I don't.
Okay.
I like Joe Keery.
Bella hates
I
him.
picked Joe Keery.
I think Joe Keery would be a really good addition. He's
27.
To Clueless.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I like
was
him.
18.
If that's who you want to go with, we'll go with it.
Yeah, I think we should do Joe Keery. Maybe he's like flunked out a couple times.
Okay.
He's cute.
He's like 40 and in Clueless.
yeah.
Hi, kids. I'm in high school.
All right, so then let's talk about Murray.
Who is Murray?
Murray is Dion's boyfriend.
Oh shit. Who did I cast as that? I actually don't think that I did cast him. Whoops.
I did.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Murray I cast as Bridget Lundy Payne, who's also starring in Atypical as
Say that name again?
Bridget Lundy Payne. She's the one dating Graham Rogers in Atypical, but she has
Is an American actor and fashion icon.
Yeah.
Same.
I picked her to be dating Amanda Stenberg, and I thought that they would make a beautiful couple, and that they would be badasses.
This is a separate thought. Bridget Lundy Payne also identifies as non-binary and uses they, them pronouns.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Which kind of fits with the Dion that we already have, which...
Yeah. I think that having a non-binary person date another non-binary person
is a little on the nose.
It's a little on the nose, and I know like a couple non-binary people, and that's usually not who they end up dating.
That's that's the case for the non-binary non-binary people I know as well.
My pitch for this is either this guy named George Lindeborg Jr., who was in Alita Battle Angel and Bumblebee.
90s boyfriend?
I don't remember.
Say his name again?
George. It looks like Jorge. Either him, or we can do have Josie dating a woman, which would be Amandla.
I could see that too.
Or Sam's choice.
What is it? Well, yeah, no. What's your choice?
My choice is an actor named Carlin Jeffrey.
I don't know them.
Carlin Jeffrey is a actor who I was kind of going for someone who's like probably in the same place as his career as he was as Donald Faison was before being cast.
Yeah,
oh, he's cute.
He's like a Nickelodeon style actor. Like he's been around. Like he's been acting since he was a child. Like he was in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. He was in Heroes.
Okay,
but now he's in like Ant Farm and that sort of thing.
What is that?
Like a Disney show.
Oh, okay.
It's like a Disney School of Acting show.
Great.
And so like just in terms of like that big comedic presence, that's the Disney School of Acting, and so that's kind of the sort of person I was looking for. Just kind of a big personality, but at the end of the day, just a sweetheart at heart, who really cares for Dion, this person he's dating.
Yeah.
And so that's why I kind of thought Carlin Jeffrey would be a fun choice for that.
Okay. Yeah.
I like him.
I like that. I think that works. I think that a big part of this would be choosing people that are relatively unknown for some of these. He's not unknown to people that watch the Disney Channel, but I've never heard of him, so I think he's a great choice.
Yeah, cool. All right, great. I got one.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Tell us about your Travis.
Which one is Travis? I know the
Travis is Skater.
Skater boy.
Ty love interest.
Okay, I picked this kid named Eduardo.
That's all we can afford of that.
This kid named Eduardo Franco, who's like the skater boy in Booksmart. He's got long hair.
Sorry, he's got long hair.
He does.
Oh yeah. The one who is the one who ends up with the teacher in Booksmart.
It's been like a year since I've seen that movie, but I
love that movie.
Yeah,
Ella needs to watch it so she can get back.
You haven't seen Booksmart's a really amazing movie.
Watch it.
It's like the best teen comedy that's come out in a very, very long time. But yeah, I think he would be a great choice for it. I really like him. I worked with him at one of the companies I was at, and he's a very nice boy.
Yeah, it seems like it. My choice for Travis is an actress named Cameron Bikondova, who is... She's in Gotham, Girl House, Shake It Up. She is also pretty young.
Oh, does she play Cat?
She's I think she's Catwoman.
Yeah, I think she's Catwoman
in Gotham.
Why did you choose her?
So for the Ty character, I wanted the Ty character to like, theoretically I had a straight relationship and a gay relationship, and I made Ty bi in my version, just because, why not?
Yeah.
And so
it's 2020.
Yeah, well, this was, like, the time for that. And so Ty was kind of being drawn to this character, but also being drawn to this other character.
Oh, okay.
And so I kind of like the idea of, like, having two completely different characters, and for whatever reason. And I picked this actress just because, just based on all her pictures and, like, the performances she gave, I like just the confidence and the weirdness in just a slightly different way, since it's not the 90s.
Really
there
like
are
that.
still skater boys, but...
There's skater girls.
And there's skater
I
girls.
mean, that culture has had a huge resurgence recently.
Yeah.
I am terrified to get on one, but I appreciate it. I would kill myself immediately.
The first time I stepped on a skateboard, I fell on my butt, because that's how it happens. But since we went to a liberal arts school, Bella and I, we both spent time on a longboard.
I didn't know that you went to the same school.
We did.
Yeah.
And at said school, I sprained my ankle on a longboard.
Yep,
Ah.
these are the rules.
More than 10 minutes after getting on it. I was
sprained my
wearing
ankle
clogs,
walking,
which was
so-
stupid.
Well, it's the closest thing you can get to jelly shoes.
That was about as liberal arts as I could get.
Yeah, that's pretty...
Theater student on a longboard
unless your hair
in
was...
clogs.
Unless you had dreads at the time, I don't think you could have
I
topped
would
it.
never have dreads.
One of my favorite liberal arts student moments. There was a woman who was in like full on Hot Topic gear, coming on a skateboard, holding a violin, playing it, and sailing down 21st Street
Oh
in
my goodness.
Austin, and it was like, okay,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that's
in
amazing.
college.
Great, love it. But yeah, so that was my idea. I actually realized I didn't cast the one that you cast, that I was suggesting Paul's person whose name I already forgot for. But theoretically, that was my pitch for Travis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who did you have, Travis?
Mine was Graham Rogers,
Okay.
which you guys hated.
Got it.
So.
Yeah, no, that I disagree with that choice.
Star right here, then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, let's do yours.
I like her.
I like casting it as a woman.
Yeah. Which brings us to the dad, Mel Horowitz.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Whoever
My
goes
turn.
First. I'm sorry. I don't know.
For this one, I cast... it depends, because it would have depended on, like, who the daughter is, but I cast Jimmy Smits. I kind of want that intimidating presence, but I also want someone who's just, like, genuinely seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, it doesn't match who we picked, though.
No, but I don't care.
I care. I picked Woody Harrelson.
Aww.
Woody Harrelson's in so many things.
I picked...
But so is this guy.
Yeah.
Like, they're both...
What are you
they're
talking
both
about?
A-list recognizable. Not Woody Harrelson level, but
Yeah.
this, like, if Woody Harrelson's A, this guy's a solid B.
Guys,
Go on.
I picked Paul Rudd.
Oh.
I
I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm gonna shoot that down. I'm very sorry. No. Nah. I just even.
How would we be able to tell he's not one of the high schoolers?
He doesn't
True.
look like a high schooler anymore.
No,
he plays a dad now.
He has started to look his age more recently. About like 5 years ago, it was definitely like, oh my god, Paul Rudd has not aged since like forever. Recently,
We appreciate what you're doing.
I agree that we should probably pay homage to the original in some respect.
I feel like we'll end up doing that with the writer-director.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's so many people in this that as soon as we start putting in one, we'll start putting in all of them, and then we have a Ghostbusters problem where they try to put in everyone from the original Ghostbusters into the Lady Ghostbusters,
I hate
and it didn't
that
work.
movie. It's so bad.
Okay. But you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, we can't Lady Ghostbusters it. Fine.
I like that
I was
idea.
trying to be sweet to Paul.
It is... Look, your blatant attempts to get close to Paul Rudd notwithstanding.
Yeah.
Blatant.
Yeah.
I just
really,
love
really obvious.
Yeah, that's what you love.
Josh became a lawyer and then had a cute daughter and then history
Yeah,
repeated
me too.
itself.
That's perfect. No.
So we're going to give you this option. Do you know who Jimmy Smits is?
Yeah, I do.
Jimmy Smith
Okay.
is legit.
Well, no, I know. I don't care. So between Woody Harrelson and Jimmy Smits, Bella, who do you prefer?
I mean, if our Cher is Kiernan, I think it should be Woody Harrelson.
Fine.
Unfortunately. I love Jimmy Smith's, but I don't think that it makes
Yeah,
the most
same.
sense.
I think he.
Although, like, there are so many reasons why parents could not look like their children now, to be
Yeah.
fair. Like,
And I personally don't care about that sort of thing. But
I do if it's like if it's a Latina child and like a white parent, it's a little bit more. But like having a blonde child come out of a Jimmy Smits and whoever.
Why are you assuming she's a natural blonde? Is Karen Shipka a natural blonde? I assume no.
She could have a white mom.
No, Karen is natural blonde. She was blonde in Mad Men. She doesn't. It's not that white Sabrina blonde like that is fake, but she's a natural blonde. And yeah, I think I like Jimmy Smits, but I think that Woody Harrelson.
Fine, Bella decided it's Woody Harrelson.
I see her having better chemistry with Woody Harrelson.
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
Although Jimmy Smits is also very charismatic and delightful.
But this the two like when I picture the two of them interacting together, his demeanor with her demeanor seems to go Woody Harrelson's with hers.
Okay. The next two people, I have 4 people left. I have Mr. Hall, Miss Geist, Amber, and Christian.
Okay.
I'm happy to do like Mr. Hall and Miss Geist together.
Yeah.
I also have Elton.
And you also and Bella also has Elton. Is there anyone else I'm missing?
I have DMV Guy and Miss Stover.
Okay, when we get to them,
they're super small characters. So.
But because you have those and you have an Elton, we're just going to end up going with those picks.
Okay.
So let's start. Did either of you have Mr. Hall and Miss Geist?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. So then I went first for the last one. Paul, you're up.
So Wallace Shawn's not dead. So I wanted to have him come back and do that role again. And instead of Mrs. Geist agreeing to go on a date with him, she's like, "What the fuck? No, I'm not." And have that be like the reversal for that moment.
Got it. Who did you have as Miss Geist?
For Miss Geist, I had Missy Pyle.
Oh,
okay.
Because I think she's literally done that like I'm not hot, I'm super fucking hot thing in multiple movies.
Yeah,
so
Missy Pyle's great.
Yeah, I love her. She's great. And she's a really lovely person.
Bella?
I had for Mr. Hall William Jackson Harper, who is probably right now best known for The Good Place.
He's
good at being a dweeby professor type.
So cute.
He's very cute. And then for Miss Geist, Amy Okuda, who's also an Atypical.
You love that show. I've never even seen it. It's just one of the only
high school shows that I've watched recently that has a bunch of young people in it.
That's fair.
I was casting from that a lot.
I haven't seen Atypical, but I did see her in The Guild.
I just feel like the two of them would be very cute together.
Yeah.
That's
and they're
true.
They both play like older mentor-ish characters to young teens.
Well. They do. If anything, I feel like they're too young.
I agree. I do think that, especially her, now that I've like seen a picture of her, I think that she's far too young. Okay. William Jackson Harper, I think, is in his early 30s, which
he's in his 40s.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
He just looks great.
Okay, good for him.
Yeah.
He's been around for a while. There was an interview that talked about him being on In Living Color.
What?
Yeah.
Weird. Anyways, so
did you see him and Missy Pyle?
I was to say, did you see
I think him and Missy Pyle would be really cute.
Yeah.
But we need to. I know.
Did you see that there was some talk show interview where I think in Living Color he's in a scene with Hamilton guy.
Lin-Manuel
Miranda. Like before Lin-Manuel Miranda was Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
And it's terrible, but it's ridiculous and it's super fun. Okay.
Who did you pick?
So I aimed a little bit older.
Okay.
So because Wallace Shawn is that Wallace Shawn? What's he doing in this movie? It was that even then. Like, I went for someone, like, this is really my only, like, again, Jimmy Smith's B-list. This is my only A-list casting for this. I went with Jack Black for Mr. Hall.
Aww.
Just because I think it'd be kind of fun. Just, like, the kind of dour, like he can play down and then he can play up. Mm-hmm. And I put him opposite Tracy Ellis Ross from, who I think is the mom in Black-ish.
But she's so much hotter than him.
I'm aware of that. That's why he's surprised.
That's why it's funny.
But I both went with like kind of goofy comedic people.
Yeah.
Because you can both dress them down and dress them up.
I think we should do Tracy Ellis Ross and William Jackson Harper.
Okay.
It's good with me.
I also had a character for the Jeremy Sisto character, the like dick that leaves her at Circus Liquor.
That's Elton.
Oh, that's Elton. Okay,
yeah.
So we both have Eltons.
Okay. Let's do Amber first.
I didn't cast for Amber, actually.
Oh, so this is the only like
I did. Sorry.
Oh, I picked Anya Taylor-Joy for this.
Tell me about Anya Taylor-Joy.
She's the lead from The Witch and Thoroughbreds and is
currently Emma in Emma?
Yeah, correct.
I figured this is where you put her.
Yeah.
Because that's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she would be perfect in that role.
That's clever. Bella, who did you have for?
I had Bella Thorne.
She's so old looking now, though. She's not taking care of herself.
I've used Bella Thorne for a bunch of things before, and I've since learned that apparently she's just very difficult to work with.
She is.
But, here's the thing. She's apparently actually Amber. So the thing is, your casting is perfect.
I just don't want to subject the rest of the cast.
Yeah, that's the thing. You are correct. That is, done.
They, shut down production on Famous in Love because she smelled so bad one day, though.
Whoa.
Ew.
Yeah. I don't think we should cast Bella Thorne.
No, I don't think we should either. I'm saying she's the perfect
her.
casting because of that, but we can't cast her because she's awful.
Totally.
Okay.
So I had Kiernan Shipka.
Ha!
Okay.
This is because I was like, oh, this is this
It
character
would
that a lot of
honestly
people...
be really funny if she played both roles.
That would be. I think Anya Taylor-Joy is the correct casting.
Just because she has the doe eyes and she actually kind of looks like the original actress, and I think that she doesn't get a chance to be funny in very many things, and I think in a super small role she would be really great.
Yeah.
Is she not funny in Emma?
I haven't seen it. I don't know. I assume she is.
Seems like she would be.
It looks funny, but if you look at the trailer for the Gwyneth Paltrow Emma, that movie looks like a laugh riot, and it's not. So
well, yeah.
I kind of when Jane Austen adaptations come out, I just kind of assume that the trailer is making it look way funnier than it actually is.
That's fair. But I agree. I think she's a good choice for Amber.
Cool.
That brings me to Christian. Bella, did you have someone for Christian?
His name, I might say it wrong, Sami Udalbali. He was in Sex Education. He played Eric's boyfriend for a while. It's Sami.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah. And is
he actually gay?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure.
One of the things that I do... I don't think that I had a hard time finding somebody who's actually gay for this. I do think that whoever gets this should be. Actually, but yeah, I really like him.
He's a good choice.
I think he's a good choice.
Who
did you pick?
I went a little bit on the nose for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Of the pretty boy who turns out to be gay.
Timothée
and I went with
Chalamet.
Timothée Chalamet. Because that felt... I actually have no idea if Timothée Chalamet is actually gay also.
No, he's not. He's very straight. He's dating Madonna's daughter.
I cast him as Elton. Because I'd like to see him play an asshole more.
He's just such a big name at this point that I think that you would have such a hard time getting him into this.
That's why I wanted to put him in the tiny roles instead of the big roles.
Yeah.
Because he fits within this world.
I also think that he's starting to play older than this. Did you see Little Women?
Yeah.
He did not... He was very, very good in Little Women, but he seemed like a 20-year-old.
Yeah, I think Sami Udalbali is probably the correct casting.
I agree. My choice for this is he was in Booksmart as well. He's in Righteous Gemstones. This kid named Skylar Gisondo.
Tell us about Skylar Gisondo.
He is Danny McBride's son in The Righteous Gemstones. He's around this age.
Oh, he was great in Booksmart.
Yeah,
which is a movie Bella really needs to see.
He's really good in Booksmart. I think he's super cute. I actually don't. I tried to look up his sexuality. A lot of these younger actors are not out publicly, even if they are. So I feel like that would be really hard.
I mean, I assumed he was gay in Booksmart, and then he wasn't.
Yeah, same. I get kind of... This is bad. I get gay vibes from him, so I just kind of have assumed that he's gay. I have no idea. He might be very straight. But I do like him, and I think he's a great actor, and I think that he would do a good job in this.
I don't disagree, and I think he's a really good pull. I still would prefer to go with Sami Udalbali.
Yeah.
I think that he might be, not that I want to have a debate about someone else's sexuality, but there's nothing on the internet that I could find about him making a statement about whether or not he's out.
Well, I mean,
that's why I was I don't know if
who came out recently? The lady that was in Death Proof and Clerks 2 and all of the Netflix Marvel things. Oh my god, I'm gonna kick the Latina lady that was in Daredevil.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my god. I any other time I would be able to rattle. Oh, Rosario Dawson.
Oh, right, yeah.
She came out as a lesbian 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, and was and in the interview she was
dudes.
And she was I guess I've never actually come out. Oh, well, I guess I'm doing it now. So I mean, a lot of these people just keep
Good
that.
For her.
Amanda Stenberg did too.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Good for her. So I kind of... I would rather pick somebody that's good for it rather than pick somebody that's gay. But if they happen to be gay,
That's in the
rather
pro column.
Yeah, I would rather go with somebody for that.
Of course.
Yeah.
But the guy that plays it in the original is so cute.
I know.
He's so cute.
So that you each have a couple more roles cast, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So for Elton, I had Jaden Martell, who is the lead from It. His name was Jaden Lieberhair in It, but he changed it recently, and I don't know why. But
I didn't see It, but I did see St. Vincent.
yeah, he was in Knives Out as well.
Oh, yeah, he's the Nazi kid.
Yeah, he's the Nazi kid in Knives Out.
He's barely in that movie, but he's very good.
That movie could have been so much better.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, I loved that movie.
I was very disappointed in it. I liked it more the second time I saw it.
Bella, who did you have for Elton? Remind me.
I had T. Chalamet.
That's right.
Okay. I want to nix Timothée Chalamet for these just because I do think that he's playing much older than this now.
Bella,
And-
what's another dude that you had that we didn't end up casting?
Graham Rogers.
He was the pretty one, the blonde one?
Yeah.
We should go with him.
He could be.
Yeah. I think he would be good.
Cool. All right. So that's our Elton. And then, did you have any more?
I think that's it for my cast.
Who else did you have?
I had Miss Stoger, who is the gym teacher, as Dot Marie Jones.
Who is Dot Marie Jones?
She was in Glee as like the trans gym coach. It's very like stereotypical casting for what she usually does, but I haven't seen her in a very long time, and I like her a lot, and I think that she would do a good job in this.
Okay. What was the name of the gym teacher?
Miss Stoger. And then for the DMV guy who gives the driving test to Cher, I picked Brian Posehn.
Who's
Yeah,
that?
that makes sense.
Who dat?
He was in the Sarah Silverman show.
He's the guy who talks like this.
Okay.
Not like that, but good.
yeah.
Yeah. And that was all I had. So do we want to get to writer-director?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm good with
Sam,
that.
Do you want to start with your director choice?
Yeah. I normally open with writer, but and then go to director.
You can do whatever.
I feel pretty good about my director, but I feel like my writer's going to get overruled because it's the obvious choice for A-list coming of age about a young woman movie.
Yeah.
Greta Gerwig.
No.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Not her style though.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like...
I honestly don't even really want to see the Greta Gerwig version of Clueless.
Yeah, it's not right for. I love her, but she's.
That's
not.
why I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, but I don't think we're going to end up going with it, but I wanted to...
It's like when I
'cause
said
that's the
Paul
obvious choice.
Rudd. I knew you.
Who did you pick for writer?
I put a duo team. Kirsten Smith, who was one of the writers for 10 Things I Hate About You, and she's worked. That was another one. She worked on a couple teen romantic comedies, and I can't remember the other one.
Meet the Carvers? No, this is the wrong Kirsten Smith.
Yep. That sounds wrong.
She did
Kirsten Holly Smith?
Legally Blonde. That's what I'm thinking of. The House Bunny, The Ugly Truth, She's the Man, Ella Enchanted. It felt like she has a good tone for these things.
Yeah, those are good.
Paired with Nia Vardalos, who did My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh,
Connie
but
and
her work
Carla.
after My Big Fat Greek Wedding is really abysmal and sad and not very good.
Really?
Yeah.
I loved Connie and Carla.
I actually am not familiar with that movie, but she's
great.
done like 2 or 3 that are just like really, really bad.
Oh, okay.
And like negative and like not good films.
Okay, well then maybe just Kirsten Smith.
I think just I think that you should just go with her for your my choice is maybe a cop out, but Amy Heckerling is not dead, guys.
That's what I thought you were
Okay.
going to say.
I think that she brought so much. I don't think that she should direct it because she did the original and it's like a whole new thing. But I do think that she and whomever directs it should work together on a script.
Well, then my next question is she still at a point in her life when she's connected to the, for lack of a better phrase, the youths of today?
Yeah.
I think
that
if
she's...
the director is, then they can work
They can work
on
together.
it.
Yeah. I think that Amy Heckerling should co-write it with whoever ends up directing.
Okay.
Because a big part of what makes Clueless work is that it's a writer-director thing. But Amy Heckerling, her place in film history is so important. I feel like she doesn't get a lot of the recognition that she deserves.
Okay.
And this is very much like her opus, and I would want to include her in some respect.
Okay.
What about, this just occurred to me, Nora Ephron.
She's too old.
She's too old. Okay.
I also think she's dead.
Is she?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm pretty sure Nora Ephron is
Oh.
dead.
I thought she was still alive.
I think she died kind
Spell
of
Efron?
Recently?
EPH.
It must have been recently.
It's just, yeah. I think it was when I was...
Nora Ephron died in 2012.
Jeez. Okay, I'm behind, guys. Never mind.
She would be a good choice to work with somebody else on a script.
Yeah.
She never made a teen movie.
Okay.
And anytime she had, like, younger people in her movies, they were kind of thinly written.
Okay.
So,
Nix that. That was a spur of the moment name popped into my head, and I was like, she did.
Well, it sounds like she's haunting you.
So,
so then let's talk about director.
yeah.
Did you also have Amy Heckerling to direct?
No.
Okay.
I picked Kathy Yan.
Tell me about Kathy Yan.
So she just directed Birds of Prey and did a really phenomenal job.
I agree with that.
And that movie was so fast and fun, which is absolutely something that we should bring to this. I do think that Clueless should have a female director because there are so many great female characters in it.
I also picked a female director.
I think that, like, I can't stress enough how impressed I was with Birds of Prey.
Yeah,
the fact that she took that concept and really made it her own and made it special and unique and used all of these, like, techniques and like structure things that have not been used in superhero movies before. I think that movie is going to go down in history as one of the most unique superhero movies ever.
Yeah.
And I think that she could bring her touch to this film.
True. I feel very, very strongly that I would like this to be a Sofia Coppola movie.
What? Okay, hold on. Wait.
Not the worst idea.
Why?
Because I want her glitz and glam to come into the world of Clueless, and I want her very bizarre take on, like, young female relationships to be inserted into the cast and the tone that we already have. And I would love for her to work with a writer that maybe if she works with... Why am I blanking on her name?
Amy Heckerling.
If they worked together, they could come up with a very, very interesting
It's just
read.
such
So do you see this,
styles.
like, in terms of what she's done, do you see this more being like the Beguiled? Or do you see this being closer to the Virgin Suicides?
I see it being like the Bling Ring meets Marie Antoinette.
I understand why you picked her. I think that there's a certain level of excess, even in her simpler movies.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. Sofia Coppola probably has a lot in common with Cher.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, that shouldn't be ignored.
I
That's
feel
not,
like
that's
she would
not
have
a bad...
a lot of fun with it. And that's why I was like, I just want to see Sofia Coppola work alongside someone else to, like, rein her in a little bit.
My issue with her is that I don't think that she would have enough fun with it.
Oh.
And I think that she would... I love her work. I've never seen a movie. Actually, her most famous movie is the one that I like the least. Lost in Translation is kind of overrated, but the rest of her movies are amazing. Like, Virgin Suicides is such a beautiful film, and so is The Beguiled, so is The Bling Ring. I do really like her. I don't think that she could bring the sensibility and the fast pace that this would need. A big part of what makes a Sofia Coppola movie is, like, the slow, languid pacing and, like, the distant
Bling Ring
acting.
Was fast, though.
I actually haven't seen The Bling Ring.
Bling Ring is very, like...
So,
Bling Ring was the first thing that made me think about it.
Maybe that would change my perspective on it. I am not the biggest fan of that choice, just based off of the work that I've seen of hers and what she... Because The Bling Ring is very much not stylized like the rest of her filmography.
Right.
And is, I believe, her worst reviewed film. So, I mean... We should obviously put it to a vote, etc., but I don't think that she would be very right for this. I do love her.
Okay.
And I would like to see her do a more mainstream comedy, but because this is so seminal and because this is such an important work, I think that giving such a stylized director who has made her style very known over the past couple of decades would not be the best choice.
Fair enough.
So my choice is a director named Jamie Babbitt. Jamie Babbitt is done a lot more television, but is transitioning into films as well. Like, she directed things like But I'm a Cheerleader. She directed episodes of Silicon Valley, Girls, Gilmore Girls. She's directed episodes of It's Always Sunny. Yeah. And I picked her because I wanted, a female director, because I think that's important, especially for something like this. I wanted someone who's the right age to have also grown up with this movie. And I wanted someone who could do the comedy.
Yeah.
Directing comedy is very hard.
Yeah.
And when you want to make sure you get the tone and you get the beats and you get the laughs.
Mm-hmm.
You want someone who has done that. And her style, and she's done so many different styles of comedy that I think she really understands that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So my pitch would be, I would suggest Jamie Babbitt directing this and having Amy Heckerling write it.
Okay.
And having the two of them work together to kind of craft the story.
Cool.
It would be my pitch.
Cool.
Okay.
If you are both comfortable with that.
Yeah. I
haven't
really
seen
like. I think
any
she's a
of
phenomenal.
this.
I think she's a phenomenal director. I think she's a little bit younger than Amy Heckerling, or actually maybe quite a bit younger.
I assume that to be true, yes.
And yeah, my main thing with this is that I do think that it should be a younger director because we need somebody a little bit more. She's directing the Awkwafina show. She's perfect.
She's directing the Awkwafina show, and she directed 3 episodes of Russian Doll.
Great.
She directed episodes of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yes.
Sorry for your
nice.
loss.
She's blowing up.
And
Yeah, she's
But I'm a Cheerleader
very good.
is the lesbian cheerleader movie that Natasha Lyonne got her star with.
Cool.
If you're not familiar.
I haven't seen that.
It's like her and Clea Duvall.
Okay.
Got their big break, and there are a couple other like similarly sized actresses who are popular now that are in it and were not popular at the time, and it's a very very,
Very
good movie. I think she's a perfect choice.
Cool. Then let me take you through our cast of Clueless.
Cool.
Clueless. Our Cher will be Kiernan Shipka. Dion will be Josie Tota. Ty will be Auli'i Cravalho. Josh will be Joe Keery. Murray will be Carlin Jeffrey. Travis will be Cameron Bicandova. Mel, the dad, will be Woody Harrelson. Mr. Hall will be William Jackson Harper. Miss Geist will be Tracy Ellis Ross. Amber will be Anya Taylor-Joy. Christian will be Sami Utalbali. Elton will be Graham Rogers. Miss Stoger will be Dot Marie Jones. And the DMV guy will be Brian Posehn. All of this will be written by Amy Heckerling and then directed by Jamie Babbitt. That is Clueless.
Yay!
So, thank you both very much for helping remake this movie. You gonna go see it?
Yes.
Of course, yeah. I'm never not going to see the Clueless remake.
We're gonna produce it, obviously.
Heck yeah, we sure are.
Clueless is one of my favorite movies ever.
So, now's the time. What would you like to plug? What would you like to promote? What social medias would you like people to follow? Ladies first.
My name's Isabella Egizi. I have 2 social medias. I'm at IZZIEGIZI on Instagram. That's my acting life profile. And then I also have at Little Daily Ditties. That's my music profile.
Yeah, lovely.
My name is Paul Presley. I only have one social media that I follow. I just deleted my Twitter, so sorry if you follow that. I am at PAWLPREZLEE on Instagram. It's not a great Instagram, but you might like it, and I'm nice looking. So
There are lots of stories.
I share local art a lot, and
Yes, and you do a good job. I like it.
Thank you.
If you're interested in following me on Twitter, I'm at Sam Gasch, SAMGASCH, or you can follow the podcast at Ideal Remake on Twitter or Instagram. Again, mostly Instagram. Or join us on Facebook at Ideal Remake or Ideal Remake Podcast. Or what you really should do is go to your favorite podcatcher or Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review and just tell everyone about how great we are. Seriously, tell everyone in your life about how great we are individually, the people in this room.
Us 3. Just
Us three.
No, yeah, we're all really great.
Yeah.
I'm so great.
Tell your friends.
So, cool. With that, I will end with this. What is your favorite quote from the movie Clueless?
As if...
Oh, there are so many. We're both named after famous singers of the past who now do infomercials.
That's a pretty good one. I feel like I might cut after the as if, though, because that was so good.
Yeah, no, that was good. Yeah, please do.